She sat quietly for years, not because she had nothing to say, but because every time she tried, her words were swallowed by the noise of being misunderstood. She smiled when she wanted to cry. She agreed when she desperately wanted to scream no. And she stayed when every part of her wanted to walk away. He thought her silence meant peace, that her calmness was contentment, that her quiet eyes held no storm. But he never noticed that she began shrinking a little more every time he brushed off her feelings, laughed at her pain, or walked away in the middle of an argument, calling it drama. What men don't realize is that silence is not always weakness. Sometimes it is a woman's loudest scream for help. She gave him 1,000 opportunities to ask, "Are you okay?" and mean it. Not in passing, not like checking off a box, but really ask, really listen. She broke her silence that night. It wasn't dramatic. It didn't come with tears or shouting. It came like a quiet earthquake, steady, devastating, irreversible. She looked at him and simply said, "I am done." And in that moment he realized he had never truly listened, not once. She started speaking, not just with words, but with truth. She spoke of the nights she lay awake, wondering why love felt so lonely. She told him how every "you're too sensitive" slowly built a wall between them, how each joke at her expense chipped away at her confidence, how her laughter around him stopped being real a long time ago. And suddenly it all made sense. But here is where most men fail. They wait until she is emotionally gone to finally pay attention. They only start asking questions when it is too late for answers. They want to fix what they didn't bother nurturing. They want to hear her now, when she has nothing left to give. She wasn't asking for grand gestures. She wasn't waiting for flowers or apologies, drenched in panic. She just wanted to be seen, heard, understood, loved in the way she loved, fully, patiently, without conditions. But he didn't get it. He remembered the time she sat next to him, in silence, her hands fidgeting, eyes distant. He used to think she was just tired. She was tired of pretending, tired of being strong for both of them, tired of carrying the weight of a relationship that made her feel invisible. When she broke her silence, she didn't just speak for herself. She spoke for every woman who's ever been told her emotions are too much, for every tear wiped in the bathroom because crying in front of him felt pointless, for every word she swallowed to keep the peace a peace that cost her inner war. And that's what 99% of men still don't get. They confuse emotional strength with silence. They call her quiet, mature while ignoring the pain behind it. They praise her for not nagging, when in truth, she has just stopped hoping he will listen. They applaud her independence, forgetting it was born from emotional neglect. She doesn't need you to fix everything. She needs you to notice when things are breaking. She doesn't need you to be a mind reader, but she does need you to care enough to ask, to sit with her pain without judgment, to not walk away when conversations get uncomfortable. Because love is not just about the good days. It is about the moments when she is distant, when her eyes stop shining around you, when her words become few and choosing to lean in, not out. She broke her silence, and he thought it was a phase, that she just needed space. But what he didn't realize is that silence once broken can't be unheard. Once she stops needing you emotionally, the goodbye becomes a formality. The real leaving happens long before the door shuts. She had already left. So here is a truth most of men miss. If she's still trying to explain, she still cares. If she is still upset, you still matter. But when she is calm, when she is distant, when she says "I am tired" and means emotionally, not physically, that is when you are losing her. She broke her silence, not to destroy, but to heal herself. And healing doesn't always mean returning. Sometimes it means choosing peace over potential. Sometimes the strongest thing a woman can do is walk away from the person she begged to understand her. He finally saw her pain, but not her anymore. So to every man hearing this, listen before it is too late. Don't wait for silence to become the final conversation. Don't wait for the damage to be permanent. Because the truth is, most women don't leave when they are angry. They leave when they are numb, when they have screamed in silence for too long and no one came. That is where most men fail. And by the time they realize it, she is already gone,